welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of March 8th, 2021. Every week we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
This week we are complaining about household tasks we do over and over again and obsessing about accidentally being mean to our kids. Oops. And we're also taking a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today we are catching up on what's happening in our lives just about 1 year into the pandemic. Can you believe it?
What a year it's been.
Oh my goodness. I was just saying to my husband this morning, can you believe it's been almost a year since this has happened? Like, I remember thinking back when everything shut down in March, the end of March, like, how could this possibly go on for a month? Because they were talking about, at least a month. And, I just remember thinking, how on earth is that going to work? How's everybody going to adjust to that? But here we are, a year later. And now we're kind of stressing about actually going back into the real world and doing real world stuff.
We're accustomed to takeout and never leaving our houses and working at home.
I know. I love curbside pickup. I don't want to change that. Yeah. It's definitely been a year, hasn't it? The three of us haven't had to adjust to working at home, but definitely, we have people in our orbits that have, and just the whole lifestyle and having kids come back home for distance learning and have issues with jobs and challenges. And so, if I think about this past year, it's definitely been a significant year, especially with my daughter coming back from university and trying to do her sophomore year at home. So it's been a big struggle. And then my son started medical school online, which is like, really? So, my husband's been home. I've been home. It's just been a very, interesting year. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you were used to your husband traveling all the time.
Oh, totally. I mean, this has been the most amount of time that we have ever spent together in our entire marriage. Like, from day one, from when we first got married, my husband was always traveling. And so it was a huge shift for us. And actually, it was a good experiment because now I know I can survive when he retires. I love my husband dearly. I'm just going to put that little caveat in there. But he was he was traveling right up until the shutdown. So he came home and that was it, right? And then he's been home ever since. So that was a huge change. You're right. Going from the travel to nothing at all. So, and then I ended up kind of, just because I had people at home, maybe I was looking for a bit of an escape. I don't know, but I ended up taking on several different things that have...
Yeah, you've got like 3 new jobs.
Yeah. I just keep... I don't know what it is, but I've taken on a bunch of different things and they're piling up and I feel a little bit like Terry, sort of, almost. Constantly sitting on my couch working towards deadlines and multitasking, and pretty soon I'm going to expect my husband to make me dinner. Lunch.
Bring you beverages.
Yes.
It's very nice. I'm working. Yeah, I started all that stuff when my husband and son weren't working. They were both laid off because of the pandemic. And I was still working, and so they started doing things for me, and then they both went back to work, and they still do the things for me. Yay!
So nice.
It's very nice. That's it. That's a very nice development from the pandemic. Not that we want to see a silver lining in a terrible, terrible thing, but I like having my lunch made. It's very nice.
It's a routine that you can get used to.
Yes. And then I can just keep right through working and not have to stop to go make myself lunch. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is such a good thing. It's very nice. That's going to be you. Well, enjoy it. Do you ever fall asleep on the couch at 10 o'clock and then wake up at 2 in the morning and finish all that work you had to do? that will be you.
Actually, what I do is I go to bed and then I lie there thinking about the things that I need to do. And then I get up. And then I do about an hour more of whatever it is and then go back to bed.
Then you cry.
Well, see, this is why you get yourself a really nice, comfy couch, because you're not actually going to bed. You're just sitting there and saying, I got to finish this work, and then and you get a few hours of sleep that way. And then when you wake up, you're refreshed and sharp and ready to go.
Yes.
And then you can take another nap on the other end.
I believe this was the Ben Franklin schedule. Like he would sleep for, go to bed at whatever, 8 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
Wake up at midnight or 1 o'clock, work for a couple hours, go back to sleep. He had like a system like that.
Yeah.
So.
It really does. Those like early morning hours in between sleeps that I get, those are really productive. But it's just sometimes I don't wake up at 2 a.m. Sometimes I just keep sleeping. That's the flaw in the
I'll
system.
be on Messenger and I'll see you on there, Terry, and I'll be like, because it's 11 o'clock my time, right? 11 p.m. my time.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes I turn things in that are due like at 3 a.m. and I think, what must they think? How well could she have edited this if she was doing it at 3 a.m? My mind is like a steel trap at those times. Very, very sharp. Worry about the things I do at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm starting to feel sleepy and in need of a snack.
At least you're going with your body rhythm.
One of your butlers to bring you a snack at that time.
Fetch me a snack.
So that I can continue my travails. Yeah, I mean, I have added hours to my one job during this time. Not really pandemic related. They just asked me to do a little more. So that has kept me on a pretty regular schedule. All the time when my son was doing school from home. I would have to get up and make sure he was getting up. And so I would, work like regular hours. And now he's actually going to school in the building most of the time. Like it's still like an extremely complex schedule. But so that, again, gets me up, gets him out the door, and then I'm working. So,
right.
And yeah, my college student has just come home. She did part of the first semester and part of the second semester on campus. But for both of them, she kind of came home early and is going to finish online. So she saw that the end of the semester was going to look a lot like the very beginning of the school year,
right.
With most things still being online, and some of the things she really enjoys, like skating, canceled altogether. And so she's like, well, this is not, I've done this and I do not like it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like thinking back, I was just thinking about how last year at this time, a good friend of mine was going to have a big 50th birthday party. Because her sons have a band and they were going to play, and, they had rented out like a party room and, all this stuff. And of course they had to cancel it. And now I'm like, oh, it's going to be her birthday again. She still can't have a birthday party. Man, this stinks.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Catherine, you and I had big birthdays during COVID too, which were definitely scaled back.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And my kids are about to, in another month, each have a second pandemic birthday. I'm not sure
mine too.
What we're going to do.
Yeah. My daughter turned 30 last year, so she had a big birthday also. And we said, we'll do something big for you next year, honey. And it's like, well, maybe not.
Exactly.
40, honey, 40. 40 will be here sooner than you know.
Probably will be done with this pandemic in 9 more years. Oh, boy.
Oh, I feel bad because she had all these plans she wanted to do for her 30th birthday. And I was like, this sounds like a lot of work for me, but I guess I have to do it. And then, nope. All clear.
Got out of that one.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to get out of it this year too. But yeah, it'll be fine. We'll get you. Our birthdays have gone from let's go out to dinner with all your friends to you can have the takeout of your choice.
Right.
Any restaurant.
And we will eat it in our kitchen.
Exactly. Last year my son had Buffalo Wild Wings, which we had never had before, but we just went and got it takeout. They were good.
Yeah.
So we may do that again.
Buffalo Wild Wings. I haven't had that one. Yes, definitely have tried a lot of different restaurants this past year. That's been...
That's right, yeah.
So much takeout.
Yeah, and they've all made takeout so easy, too. You know, a lot of the restaurants we would usually go to have, you know, nice takeout, like family packages to get so that it's real easy. And that's nice. We use a lot of those.
Yeah.
Applebee's and Uno's have some good ones.
Yeah, we have a collection now of plastic containers that's really, really getting out of hand. From between the takeout and then like our grocery store does a lot of pre-made stuff that my husband picks up often. And so, yeah, I sneak them into the recycling as often as I can.
And he collects them.
He would save them. This is good. We could use this.
Yeah, I'm that person in my house, so I have sympathy.
That's my husband.
Wasted. Well, I think the maybe biggest change that's happened in our house because of the pandemic has been that my son is now working someplace 5 minutes away instead of 30 minutes away. So
nice.
As much as I loved that job for him, this job is pretty good too, and it's so much easier. So much less advanced planning required to take him. And if he forgets something, it's not a big deal to bring it to him. So I don't feel like I have to go drive there and then sit in the library for 7 hours because I don't want to have to go home and come back.
And you couldn't anyway because there's no sitting in.
Right. That's right. There's no sitting in things.
There's no sitting in a coffee shop.
That would have been impossible. Well, that job, he was working for a hotel, so that job ended even before the lockdowns just because they had no business.
Right.
And then it just never came back. And his other job was working in a stadium, which also has not yet come back. No. So Home Depot, on the other hand, doing a bustling business.
Very busy over there.
Keeping the boy employed in the parking lot. He's very happy. So
that's awesome.
And he's very close. So let's hope that is something from the pandemic, a pandemic change that lasts. Right. Well, it's been an interesting year, and would like to think that sometime in the year ahead everything will go back to normal. But one thing that is for sure ending is today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2 and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.